Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, coming at you live, talking about episode 9 of the anime series, Just Because. And this episode pretty much began with the same emotional equivalent I was left with by the end of the previous. Everything is just so adorable and lighthearted and fun and humorous. Opening with Haruto's being gobsmacked as Hazuki comes in with a new hairstyle, a whole new look, and everything like that. And the whole aspect of Eita and Komiya not wanting to sort of deal with each other in the hallway after she made her impromptu pseudo confession of love for him. If the photograph wins the award, then I'm going to confess my love for you. And I love the fact that he's echoing my sentiment, the thoughts I had in the previous episode when she says that. He says in this episode, isn't that kind of already confirming it? Like, you're already telling me you dig me, but saying you're going to say it later, that kind of thing. And it wasn't lost on him, and it cracked me up when he acknowledged that. And just they're not wanting to deal with each other. And like Komiya, she is not defeatist, at all about this, even though it is problematic for her. She's kind of embarrassed. Eita is as well. They don't really want to deal with each other, and they're mocking each other, saying, oh, you're copying me, when they're hiding behind the pillars and everything like that, and they both poke out to see if the other one's still there and everything. Stop copying me. No, you're copying me. It's hilarious, it's adorable, and I love when she finally takes off. She's chuckling. She's having a ball. She's having a blast. She's not feeling depressed or, defeatist, or like this is something she can't bear to deal with, She's adorable. It's just fantastic. But I gotta say, the transition throughout the course of this episode, where things began feeling like there's a cohesion. Everything is coming together. Characters are coming together. It couldn't have felt any more pitched to divisiveness by the end. And I was starting to feel bad, especially for Natsume, by the end, because she seems to be the only one who's getting kind of the crappy end of the stick. Because we have all the other characters seemingly growing closer, but not her, at least for the moment. It doesn't seem like anyone's really paying her any mind, except for her friends and her elder sister and everything like that. And, it begins, the hilarity begins with, of course, Haruto's being so gobsmacked. And so, mouth agape when he sees Hazuki. But all of a sudden, he was starting to test my patience. I was like, dude, what is wrong with you? Why are you suddenly backpedaling? She comes in looking a little bit different to how she looked when you first formulated your crush on her, and suddenly you want to keep her at arm's length. Suddenly you're not as interested in her. I didn't know what was going on with him. And later, of course, he reveals, after having been prompted by Hazuki's friend on the baseball diamond, he says to her, well, I didn't want to, be put upon. I didn't want to put upon you. I didn't want to stress you out even that much further, because of how everyone was suddenly swarming around you and telling you how great you looked, and just not giving you a break. And we saw how frustrated and tiresome that got for her. So I guess I kind of I can kind of swallow that Haruto didn't want to be part of the problem, and didn't want to make mountains out of molehills and things like that, and just stress her out that much more, that he's making such ado about her new do. I guess I can kind of buy that, but I was, the whole time I'm thinking, why doesn't he want to have anything to do with her all of a sudden? And he's kind of lamenting something, and I'm like, what is it? Why? Is he suddenly finding himself disinterested now that she's changed her look? In which case, I would have wanted to choke his ass, But that was sort of the first step. And then, again, as I say, you have this really cute dynamic going on between Eita and Komiya. He's going out for a run after school, his customary run, and, she's going to ambush him, as she says, waiting for him at the convenience store that she knows he always stops at during his run. And so she was obviously there waiting for him. But I will defy anyone to tell me with a straight face that he wasn't happy she was there waiting for him. He may not have actually gone out looking for Komiya. He wasn't out going for a run, going for a jog with the purpose of trying to find her and hoping to run into her. but that he did, he was kind of happy about it. And of course, she gets him the drink, and he goes and gets her one, and it's just really cute between them. Again, not in any way defeatist on her part. She's like, this is how we're going to be from now on. Forget the awkwardness in school. We're still going to be best of friends. She takes off. He's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. And it felt like kind of a 1-2 punch equation where it's like, on the one hand, maybe he's reluctant to, he doesn't want to lead her on, string her along, that he kind of likes her, but he doesn't necessarily like her the way she thinks she likes him. And then also the added aspect of, he does have a genuine interest in Natsume. That's why he's studying. And where that lack of cohesion comes in, it is heavily punctuated by the fact that, with Natsume, she's really mulling over her future. And she's committed to the decision she's made not to follow in her sister's footsteps after her sister gave her that advice in the previous episode. So she's going to pursue her own path. She's going to go to her own scholastic, collegiate choice, which now is completely different to what Eita is pursuing. He's pursuing the same school she was going to be going to. So they are becoming divisive. We want to see them coming together in a sense. She's buying him Valentine chocolate, which is something Komiya told him he should expect. If you're desiring to get Valentine chocolate from the president, oh, you're going to get it. You might be getting it. And sure enough, Natsume is in the store. She's buying her beverage, and she sees the chocolate, and she decides to go ahead with it. This after a really momentous dynamic back and forth between she and Hazuki, where, Hazuki needs to find out, do you have an interest in Haruto? Is that what this is about? And she comes clean. I did. At one time, I did. I don't anymore. In fact, there's someone else I like. And it was really the whole reason her using the topic of having someone that she liked that she wouldn't ever admit to whom it was, although her friends kind of knew anyway, was just to be able to be one of the girls in the pack, one of the girls in the group, have something to talk about. All that girly talk about the boys they like. But she's matured, she's grown up, and she is on a forward evolution where she now realizes, I don't need that. And what's more, she's opening her eyes to Eita. But, now they're going to be on two different scholastic paths. You have, again, the love triangle aspect of Komiya being in there. Someone is destined for heartbreak, if not all of them. I mean, they all might go their separate ways by the end of all of this. We might not see any of these characters actually come together. This is something I have been speculating since the early going of the series. But it's the exact thing I was saying. I was happy we did not have to be lamenting and depressive and feel bad for any of these characters by the end of this episode. I'm feeling bad for Natsume. I'm feeling bad for Eita. I'm feeling bad for Komiya. I'm feeling bad for Haruto. And, Hazuki, because it's just like, oh man, none of them. They're probably all on separate paths. They're probably all going to be growing apart from here on out rather than closer together. And that's kind of a bum out. As a hopeless romantic as I am, that's kind of a bum out. But I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of episode 9 of Just Because, if you've seen it as well, if you agree with me, if you were completely picking up on all of those emotions and things starting out still bubbly and cute and adorable and just, being solidified with that impression by the end that things are not going to work out for these characters maybe the way we hope. As shippers do with anime characters and relationships between characters and whatever like that. I really feel like it's probably angling more toward a pragmatic, realistic ending that sees, these characters, they were best of friends, they were really close in their youth, in their last years in school, before moving on to college and thinking about their futures. We know Haruto's not even going to college. He's going to look for work after school is all said and done. And so it just seems to me solidified by the end that, they're all going their separate ways. And, if you agree with that, let me know that in the comments below. If you disagree, of course, POVs can certainly disagree. It's all about the topic of talk, having a great conversation about great anime series like Just Because. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you, one way or the other, what you think, what you speculate might be coming. And otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.